Hello.
I'm JJ. This is my partner Janet.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of the Pam Pam Productions, so I wanted to promote the cause.
Okay. You're here to answer a few questions about this movie documentary we're doing without your permission. And we have a few questions for you, and thank you for participating. The first question is what is your definition of marriage?
Well, I'll speak for myself because you have an opinion. But
Oh, she does.
but
She's being shy, Miss Janet.
No, not shy.
Okay,
I
dokie.
believe a marriage is a union between two human beings, but it shouldn't be gender specific. It's more almost like an understanding, an agreement that two people hold something special, amongst themselves, and they might have differences, but that what separates a marriage from just dating is you're agreeing to go through the thick and thin for a lifetime, and you're willing to compromise or work out troubles and take a journey, and appreciate each other's, common goals, but as well as our individual desires in life. So I don't think it has anything to do with politics or religion.
Wow. Get down, Jay. JJ! Representing in the house. Yeah.
So, my definition of marriage would be two people that trust each other, that respect each other, that are committed to each other, and give each other a promise of forever. I'm more of a romantic than the whole political stuff when it comes to that. Marriage to me is sacred. It's not a game. You only do it once. I'm very old-fashioned in that sense. So, yeah, two people that respect and love each other.
So, being that you have both come to this understanding that we
Yes.
get married, we're going to get married soon. You come from two different cultures, right, JJ?
Two different cultures. I'm African and Italian descent. I was born in Santa Barbara, California, but I did spend 8 years in Africa of my childhood. And from high school up, I've been here in the U.S. But religious-wise, we were both raised Catholic. So we, Roman Catholic. So, and we have very traditional family members, especially the later generations. I don't really go to church, but I do believe in God, and I have my own personal faith. It's more Christian-based, I would say.
Well, I'm Mexican, obviously, what they say, cara de nopal, face of a cactus.
Oh.
So, like she was saying, we're both raised with very Roman Catholic upbringings. I went to Sunday school. I was an altar server. I did the whole 9 yards. I guess I just came to a point in my life where I couldn't respect the Catholic Church and some of the people working behind it. And I just explored and kind of studied and looked around. I knew there was more out there, and now I practice Buddhism. I'm not a practicing Catholic, even though sometimes I'll bring it up. I do. It's hard to let go of it, especially growing up, in a household where, you went to Sunday school, you discussed Sunday school and church, at the dinner table, and it's just very typical Roman Catholic Mexican upbringing. So very old school, very, can't be showing anything type of of going to church and very conservative. But yeah, she's Christian. She doesn't really go to church, but she is strong in her beliefs, and I'm very strong in mine. I'm Buddhist, and I practice, the whole Nam Myoho Renge Kyo Nikan Shonen's practice.
Work it out, work it out.
I just believe that everybody's beautiful within themselves. We don't all have to get along, but we can agree to disagree, and live prosperity.
So how did that influence your belief in being a out lesbian, both of you? I mean, because under some of those rulings, even with myself as a Baptist Christian, folk want to keep you in the closet underneath the grave or whatever. How did you come to believe that you could be a lesbian and still love God and still have a relationship with a higher power?
Well,
and still have marriage?
For myself,
Okay.
I was about 14, 15 years old when I started questioning it. And being brought up in the Roman Catholic community, I went to my priest and my nuns, for advice. And one nun in particular, I won't distribute any names, but I explained to her how I feel, how I felt about myself. It was really hard because it's almost like you're hiding a piece of you from your family so that they don't hate you. Because of, past experiences, past conversations, past judgments that they've done on people because of their sexuality or, just their difference in their eyes. Because to me, difference just means you're individual. So it's beautiful. After going to my nun, she advises me and explains to me how God will always love you no matter what. She never told me it was bad or anything. She was one of those good Catholics, is what I call. She was really honest, and she didn't hate the sinner. She hated the sin. And I respected that, and I still do. I respect that. Just because I'm maybe not what you believe, I'm a lesbian. And you don't believe in that. You think that I wake up one morning and just say, "I'll be a lesbian today." Be judged and be treated like shit, basically. It's not a choice we come likely to. I don't think any of us have. I think it's been hard in some way or form for everybody. But coming to it, I'd have to say that my nun was the one that actually gave me that courage to come out, and I reevaluated my life and my beliefs because of it, and I'm a happier person.
JJ.
Well, my experience is a little bit different. Yeah, I was raised Catholic as well, but I honestly grew up never thinking anything was wrong with homosexuality. Like I said, I spent like the first 6 years of my life in the U.S. and during that time, my godmother, she is actually a lesbian herself, and she's been in a couple of relationships. She's currently in a long-term relationship right now, but growing up, I remember spending the night at her house, and her partner at the time, it was never discussed, and I never as a kid looked at it as indifferent or different, and then going to Africa and growing up and going to school at an all-girls institute and spending time in the boarding house, I remember my very first crush as a person was on a girl, and I remember Valentine's and everything, it was always with the same sex, and I didn't realize anything. I remember a little girl approaching me one day and saying, "Are you a lesbian?" And I said, "What is that?" And they said, "That's when a girl likes another girl." And I said, "Oh, is that what it's called?" But then, and then going to church, growing up, we had, like I said, I was raised Roman Catholic, and we had to get up every Sunday morning and go to church. And going there, I don't even remember the priests talking about homosexuality, so it wasn't a disgusting, but I knew it existed, and I knew I had feelings, but I never knew anything was wrong.